hope this is working out right. I did that there. I hope I'm sharing the right thing here. But anyway, so take a look at this. I'm not going to stop. Don't say stop. I didn't get all that down. The idea is, does yours look like this? And then a couple mistakes here and there. You should have like a red pen out or something just to make notes of your mistakes and corrections, and that's a good thing. That's how we learn. We don't expect 100%. I know I have a lot of expectations from you, and that's not a bad thing. Expect your efforts to be what they are, but certainly you learn from your mistakes. How else could you learn? So definitely not a quadratic formula here. All right, you should subtract 4 and square root and get that idea that it's plus minus. How come that won't hide? Jeez. All right, and then moving to this one, same thing. And then the rationalizing of a denominator. All right, I don't want to leave a square root of 3 on the bottom, multiply top and bottom by root 3, and that's how you get root 6 on the top. Plus minus though. Oh, my seniors and cat. How many people, when they still square root both sides, they don't put plus minus? Drives me crazy. Okay, now remember the focus on this page, because on the test, as I show this key and you correct, you can do two things at once. I looked over the test with the crew, the other teachers, and there's just a page where it just says solve. This is not the synthetic division solving. I even told you on yesterday's worksheet there were questions you should solve by factoring, not synthetic division. That's really how the test is going to look. It's going to be a jumble of questions I should factor, and then some I can't, so I have to synthetically divide to solve, which is yesterday's worksheet. Okay, and then keep in mind as I zoom in on this one, sorry if you're writing the other one, that quadratic formula. You don't know the quadratic formula, you're gone, all right? Not going to find that acceptable at this point, especially from last semester. I don't know if you would have made that decision to pull out that negative. I kind of like a leading coefficient positive. You could leave it. It could be written as 8 minus 27x cubed. Then this first would be 2 minus 3x without the negative out in front. That's perfectly legal. So if you have negative 3x plus 2 on the inside without that negative there, you're fine. Just think about distributing that negative. Be the same. This would still not change. Okay? All right, so looking at that Pythagorean theorem, the opposite of b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. That's why I sing it, so that you can memorize and sing it yourself. I know some of you do. You don't want to admit it. Not synthetic division. A little bit longer to do synthetic division. This would be a perfect grouping scenario. You don't even know what synthetic division was at the time, but I'm talking about what you know now. You should look to group first. It does group, and you can see the 3, the 5, the 3, the 5. I mean, you can see that pattern recognition now and understand that that's a factorable situation. There goes my dog. Mistakenly left the back door open so he could go out and terrorize the neighborhood. All 15 pounds of them. Uh, there you go. And I think I could show two at a time because I told you I want to move on to other worksheets. The idea should be set here. Just check, see if you need to make an adjustment. Real quick, scratch what the answer is, and then you see what you did wrong. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I mean, because 5 and 6 are almost identical in work. So it's an idea. It's not, hey, I need to copy all of that down. Difference of cubes. There you go again. Always that quadratic ends up being an I number 0 after a sum or difference of two cubes. At least in my career, that's what I've always seen. Okay, just stalling because I want to get to the next worksheets, get closer to what we've been doing recently. Again, same old, same old. It's repetitive. I like that on Thursday. I like the idea of getting you together, seeing your work, and we did do that in class Thursday. I was able to stamp, give you your other one back, go over that key, so then you could do this one and cover your mistakes from the previous one, maybe. But blah 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 blah. Okay, going to the next one, and plus I'm taping this, So you can go back to this and just go ahead and look at these. So I'm just going to shut it down in 10 seconds looking at this, just enough to write the answer if you got it wrong. And that's what you should be doing. And the no is when I stamp. I don't care that I say it, I just, it's got to be quick. It's like ripping off a band aid. This worksheet looks great. This looks great. Hey, you didn't do this, and this is not the structure. Look at your notes again. I got to do that. All right. Because some people I don't know if you don't take notes and then look at it, but when I see a worksheet that the structure is way off, yeah, I got to call that to question. Everyone uses that crutch. Oh, I just don't get it. Well, did you take notes? Did you do everything you possibly could? Did you look at your notes? Did you relook at the video? I really don't like when people say I don't learn from your videos. I don't know how that's possible. I really don't. I really honestly think that's just an excuse. I think it's just saying, you know what, I looked at it once. I kind of looked at it. I didn't like it. I don't get it. I'm just going to tell the teacher that. You got to do more, right? There's more that has to be done. And I think we talked about that last semester, and it's been pretty good, actually. Many people have made major strides mathematically. So, okay, blabbering again, quadratic formula, kind of a nasty one with ugly fraction. So then couple that with this. Sorry, this is 9-5 day one. Not really. Actually, remember, look at the directions here. So you understand the directions on the test. This says divide using synthetic division. Write your answer in fraction form. Doesn't mean find all the zeros. It means you're taking the place of long division. And in the long division statement, you divide. The answer is after you're done dividing. That's it. It's what's on top of the division garage. They kind of showed a little polynomial division a little bit in the video, just to show you the correlation between what it's taking the place of, what synthetic division is taking the place of. First 5 of these, we end up with 0 as a remainder. That means x minus 3 is a factor of this. So the idea of that word. Okay, so taking a real quick minute on that. And then this one here, first 5. And then finally, one where the remainder is not 0. And then what you do with that remainder to write the division statement in fraction form. So again, you'll see long division in next year. It's because this synthetic division only works great when you're dividing by x plus or x minus a number. If it's 2x plus 1, you can do synthetic division, but something screwy happens. And if it's a non-linear thing you're dividing by, no synthetic division doesn't work. So if we had more time this year, if we weren't limited, we might have done a day of long division just to get that algebra down, but we're good. You'll be able to handle it. It's not too bad. I showed the process a little bit. Just so you know, that kind of goes along to what guessing and checking thing that we ended up doing later with synthetic division. So shouldn't be a copy scenario here. You should be checking if you're right or wrong. Same old, same old. These introduce the fact that you must always account for missing terms. So be careful. Check yourself that you did do that. Okay? And then that's why you're wrong, probably, if you didn't. That's why you got a goofy wrong answer. In long division, I also suggest my students to account for missing terms for spacing, issues in it. Synthetic division, there's no choice. No choice whatsoever. Okay, and then same thing with 10. Many, many, many missing terms there. Look at all those coefficients. 1, -1, 1, -1, 1. Nice. And it ends up being a factor. Interesting. So understand the difference with this worksheet compared to what's happening next. And then many people, and this is why I love stamping your homework. I get to see your valid work, but many people put 13 over x plus 1. No, just what's the remainder? It's 13, right? And then stop it there. Okay. All right. Now getting closer to what we've been doing the last 2 days here. Okay, now this is different. And now I feel sad for those. Oh, number 3. What a jerk of a question. But I had some people get going with synthetic division on 1 and 2. It just says list possible. Doesn't say find the actual. So I saw some people's homework. You caused your own demise. You caused your own frustration with all that extra work by going on and synthetically dividing. It just said, dude, give me a list. If I even ask this of you, I'll make it a multiple choice because I don't want you to waste time listing out all these numbers. Um, I think I am gonna, I don't, I guess I won't say anything about how the test is gonna go. I guess you can use your calculator. I don't think you'll need to use the graphing feature. It'd be a waste of time. Look at what we did yesterday, getting the P over Q list, and then it was like pretty quick which ones worked. Wasn't much trial and error, and that's what I'm gonna expect of you. Uh, Friday. Ah, I apologize ahead of time for 3 or after the fact, I guess. I'll leave it up here for a second. I most certainly won't have one like that on the test. That's annoying. And that actually goes against the usefulness of the P over Q list. That is not efficient. That doesn't do anything for me at all. It really doesn't. In solving that, I mean, I already know how to solve that number 3 if I define the zeros. That's a waste of time. So I apologize for that, but it's fine. It exercises the P over Q list possibilities and exercises the concept, but a little overdone. Okay, I'm done thinking about that one. Okay, fine. If you went to the graphing calculator and saw that 1 was a 0 and then proved it, good. But think about the P over Q list. And we know we try 1 and then -1. You try 1 right away and it works. You saved all that time. Usually we are pretty nice about which one works right off the bat. So, yeah. Don't waste your time with P over Q lists for all of these things. Again, like I said on the worksheet I gave you yesterday for in class, some of those were factorable. You should look to see if it's factorable. And if it is, then go, and then you're done. Efficiency. All right. So on that solving page, I wouldn't P over Q list everything. An early number is probably going to work. So 1 works, and then 5x squared plus 38x plus 69. I know I would have just done unfoil because 5x squared is 5x and 1x. And I'm pretty good with numbers, so I know I'm a good foiler, which makes me a good factorer. So I'd put 5x and 1x, and then I'd start messing around with 69. Like 1 and 69, I don't think so. 3 and 23 is probably going to go somewhere to get a middle number of 38. I mean, 69 and 1, that's not even a possibility to get 38 in the middle, knowing how to multiply O and I. So right away, I would have went to 3 and 23 and put them in the right spots to get 38 in the middle. You should know exactly what I'm talking about. If you still don't know what FOIL is, I just get out. I should just tell you, get out of my class at this point. I can't do it. I can't do it. Doing these things over and over again, and still students not being able to do the things that we have, and I think we're all there, but wasn't so last semester. It took a while for a lot of us. And then remember the limit notation as y approaches. What is y approach? Sorry, as x approaches. We're going to ask you to do that Friday, so remember that notation. All right, and then zoom back so you can see this other one. And then the idea of factors into zeros, pretty simple. That's how the beginning of this chapter started. The idea of looking at zeros and looking at how they turn into factors for the polynomial. Okay, next page. This kind of goes along the lines of the spirit of yesterday. And it is funny, these are, if you did a P over Q list, these would be in the list. If you did a P over Q list, these are all factors of 70. All right, so it is just like part of the list. And then try which ones work. So it's kind of like building to the spirit of the rational zeros theorem and how you create your list and then use one of those numbers, make it happen. Third one happens. You can thank Mr. Sternowski. Looks like he was very mean to his students and made always the last number of the one to work. There goes my dog again. All right. And then after that, you factor out a GCF always first to make the factoring easier. Okay, everyone, plug your ears. Scruffy! Scruffy! Stupid dog. All right. And then the other one is the quadratic formula. Hasn't barked all day long. He knows I'm online with students. He knows. All right, so just showing that real quick. And then I do want to get to the last one as we're getting close here. Okay, there he goes again, Mr. Stanowski. The last one. What a meanie. All right. So 1, -1, 2 didn't work, and then -2 is the first one that does, and then it's a quadratic formula. I'm not going over the review thing. That's, remember, due tomorrow. Everything I gave you yesterday is due tomorrow. You should have walked out of class with the first one done. It's on you if it took you too long. I did like a lot of them. So, you need that extra work and you need to put time into it if you want to be successful Friday. But that's what I'll do tomorrow. I'll stamp and then we'll go over that 4-pager. So expect that 4-pager to be done tomorrow. Okay, moving to the last sheet. You can get this online. I have page 3 and page 4 seeing the answers. I'm going to just force, I asked last hour, which ones do you want to see? And then they asked 6 and 12, and I understand why. You should not, on number 6, this is yesterday's in class thing, do synthetic division like this. This is silliness. Or if you did, then you're missing the constant term, which you should put a 0 here. Which, you know what that means? That means 0 is a 0. And then but then this is like you guys would have been like, wait a minute, something's going on. I can't get the right answer. It's because you shouldn't use synthetic division. What you should do is take out an x, and then you're left with x squared plus 4x minus 5. So I could see why this would have caused some people some problems because they were synthetic division robot. They were like synthetically divide, synthetically divide. And I told you on this worksheet there are some that you should solve by factoring. So don't be a synthetic division robot. On the test, it's just a section that says solve. And you need to pick the appropriate thing. You should always look to solve by factoring first. Sometimes these other methods do not work. I don't know why I'm writing this. The answers are right there. All right. So that's number 1, why 6 didn't go well for you. All right. And then another reason why number 12. So last hour, 12 was asked first, then someone asked number 6, and it's the same problem. No, you should not do 1, 3, -1, -3, and then even put a 0 here. Ugh. Okay, so then, then what do you do? I don't even want to think about that because that's not the process. What you should understand is there's a GCF, and then get rid of that 0 right off the bat. So that means x equals 0, 0 product property. Then you take this and synthetically divide 1, 3, -1, -3. Now this is an x to the third. And then you could trial and error. P over Q list, real simple. Plus minus factors of 3 over factors of 1. You only have 4 numbers. This is where the P over Q list actually is helpful. And has some practicality and is actually faster than dealing with a graphing calculator. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 plus 3 is 4. 1 times 4 is 4. 4 plus -1 is 3. And then, sorry, I jumped the gun there. 1 times 3 is 3. 3 plus -3 is 0. Boom, shakalaka. So I got x equals 0. X equals 1. Ryan's gone. All right. And then this is do what my cat students do. Oh boy. Like I said, my finger. I wish the touchscreen did not exist on this. This is part of my pen problems of many. Come on. This is always so fast, this program. Great. Anyway, it's x squared plus 4x plus 3, and then it's x plus 3x plus 1, as my TI Smart View takes 5 minutes to open. Great end of the video. It's 12:29. Like I said, have all that stuff ready to go tomorrow. Okay. All right. We'll see you. You can go like Ryan. Hey, someone tell Ryan I said goodbye since he left so early. Uh, Kids these days. How's it going, Sebastian?
Good. I was just wondering when you wanted me to take the test.
Let me stop presenting first of all. I don't think they'll hear you there. So, Google Meet. Oh boy. Oh, I think I'm in two Google Meets. That's not good.